After yesterday's Modern Warfare 2 update, there was actually a follow-up update that fixed additional things. We're going to talk about all the changes from that. And today, they released a bunch of stuff coming to DMZ in Season 2, some of which I'm very excited for. As always, we're going to be covering everything in this video in a rapid style format. That way you can quickly watch this video and get right back into game with no waste of time. If you're new here and want to sub, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you left a like or a comment, thank you a ton. So first, let's talk about what the second update for Modern Warfare 2 did yesterday. This is what Infinity Ward said on Twitter. We've just released a small update that addressed a few issues. Fix an issue where playlist title for tier 1 shipment displayed incorrectly. Fix an issue where some players were kicked back to the main menu when pressing the view party button. Temporarily disabled the ability to mark targets using the spotter scope while we investigate an issue. Like I said, this secondary update was very small, just a few issues here and there that have been fixed. Now, moving on to the stuff I'm really excited about, the new DMZ information, once again coming from Infinity Ward on Twitter. Their tweet starts off, new missions. Right now in game, how the missions work is you get them from the factions. There's 3 different factions and they go all the way up to tier 5. So if they're going to add new missions, there's a few different ways they could go about it. They could add a new faction completely, which means you'd have a new faction in tier 1 through 5 for that faction, which would be a ton of new missions. Or they could add a tier 6, which would be probably pretty ridiculous. If you've done the DMZ missions, tier 1 missions are pretty easy. Tier 2 missions are pretty easy. Tier 3 missions, they get a little bit harder. Tier 4 missions get pretty hard. And then the tier 5 missions are really hard. I couldn't imagine how ridiculous tier 6 missions would be for DMZ. I'm excited for it. That sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe they'll do both. Maybe they'll add a tier 6 and a new faction. They didn't go into super detail, but we'll probably find out more with next week's blog post. The next part of the tweet reads off, new exclusion zone. So that right there confirms it. That small resurgent style map coming to Warzone 2.0 in Season 2 is also going to be in DMZ. I really want to see what they do with this. Playing DMZ on a new setting, on a new map is going to be really exciting. Obviously, we did get Building 21, but that doesn't feel like a new map. That feels like kind of a small in-game event. That's a small, really close area. Playing on a new wide open map is going to be really exciting, and I wonder if this is going to tie into the new missions, because quite a few of the current missions require you to go to certain locations on Al Mazrah, so maybe the tier 6 missions are going to require different locations around the brand new Resurgence map. This next part of the tweet could either be really good or really bad. It reads off, and difficulty tuning. They don't describe what this is, but if they're tuning the difficulty in DMZ, that means the bots. There's not really anything else in DMZ that affects the difficulty. It's the bots around the map that do that. They don't say if they're making the bots easier, if they're making less bots, or if they're making the bots harder and making more bots. I would assume they're tuning down the amount of bots, because that's one of the biggest complaints of DMZ right now. It's not even that the bots are hard. There's just so many of them that in a normal DMZ game, you spend more time fighting and shooting bots than you do anything else, where you should spend more time doing missions and other stuff, and you shouldn't have to constantly be worrying about bots, because it makes the gameplay loop feel pretty dull when it's all about farming bots. So hopefully by difficulty tuning, they mean less bots. Then it reads off, prepare for DMZ Season 2 update with our deep dive blog next week. This is like the 7th time they mentioned this. They've talked about this deep dive blog a lot. It sounds like there's going to be a ton of stuff in this. If you want to see the day this thing drops, if you want to see me break down everything in it, make sure to sub to the channel, because I'm going to keep you guys fully updated on all that stuff. But before we end this video, I want to talk about the future of DMZ, changes they have planned, and things they've confirmed that's not going to be coming to DMZ. This is from Charlie Intel on Twitter, and this came out on December 14th. He was able to sit down, talk with some of the developers, and this is what they said about the DMZ mode. No plans for solos, duos, or quad. They want one single entry point. This is something a lot of people have requested, a solo DMZ mode, maybe a duo or quad, but they don't want to split up the playlist. Right now, they only have plans on having the trios mode for DMZ and don't really plan to add these other game modes, which I kind of get it, but I know a lot of people do want that solo mode. The next part of this tweet's pretty cool. They want to bring dynamic weather, but still in the works. So this would be like rain effects and other different weather events that would happen as you're playing on DMZ. To me, I feel like this would mix it up a little bit, as long as it wasn't too crazy. If it started raining constantly or there was a bunch of other stuff that just got in the way, it'd be kind of annoying. But if done right, I feel like this could add just a little bit of extra variety. So this isn't confirmed to be coming to Season 2, and this isn't confirmed to be coming at any point in time, but they did say they want to bring it, and it said it was in the works. So maybe this could be like a Season 2 Reloaded update, or maybe an update that we'll see down the line. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Out of everything we talked about, tell me what you're most excited about. And if you guys want to see this giant blog post of information broken down, make sure to sub this channel, because we're going to cover that in a rapid style format. That way you guys don't waste any time. Thank you guys for watching. If you left a like or comment, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.